Hi, and welcome to Culture Lit, a podcast and community that explores Black women and romantic love through the lens of romance novels. I'm your host, Octavia Marie. Each episode of Culture Lit shines a spotlight on a new Black romance novel and then deep dives into the many themes facing Black women and love after 40. Be ready to laugh, sigh, and talk about Black women falling in love, yes, sex too, and the Black authors writing their stories. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Culture Lit. I'm your host, Octavia Marie, and today we have something extra special lined up for you. If you're new here, we dive deep into Black romance novels celebrating stories and characters that truly resonate with us. We spotlight books that not only entertain, but also empower and inspire. Today's spotlight is on Tia Williams' remarkable book, A Love Song for Ricki Wilde. Trust me, you're going to love this enchanting blend of contemporary and historical fiction, magical realism, and of course, a love story that'll sweep you off your feet. This novel is a modern-day fairy tale about a free-spirited florist who moves from Atlanta to Harlem to open a flower shop and realize her dream. When she's there, she meets a mysterious musician and they fall passionately in love. They discover that their lives are inextricably linked in very interesting, enchanted ways. Layered on top of this love story, there's voodoo, a 96-year-old landlady who knows more than she seems, a disgraced child star who is Ricki's nosy best friend, and leap year magic. Released in February during a leap year, the novel's touch of magical realism makes it even more special. Initially, I was a bit hesitant when I read the blurb for this novel. It seems so unlike a typical Tia Williams book, but I guess that's what makes her such an amazing writer. I wondered if I would be able to suspend disbelief to read it. It was a little slow to get into at first, but as I dove deeper, I was reminded a little of The Hand I Fan With by Tina McElroy-Ansa. I bought into it from the beginning. I totally believed in it, and it didn't pull me out of the story. There's a haunted piano, a voodoo curse, the golden Harlem Renaissance era, and an enchanted Harlem brownstone. There's sparkly dialogue, steam, and high-stakes love. This story has a flashback narrative with portions taking place during the Harlem Renaissance, an era that fascinates me. The voodoo story aspects weren't off-putting to me. Some aspects of the rituals are interesting. And having family, my grand and great-grands from Louisiana, the French Creole history is very much a part of our heritage. Also, as our ancestors left the South during the Great Migration, bringing culture, spirituality, and mysticism to the North, this novel's historical connection felt authentic. Early jazz and blues music often mention voodoo because many musicians came from the South. This historical context adds another layer of richness to this story. Voodoo has often been misunderstood due to white supremacy, portrayed as evil and scary because it was something enslaved people practiced that white people didn't understand. It made them nervous and led to a campaign against it. But voodoo is really a mix of African mysticism and Catholicism, a religious practice. You see some of that in this novel. We also see Eva Mercy from 7 Days in June make a cameo at a book signing explaining a bit more about these themes. Every time I visit New York, I love walking around Harlem. It's so different from other areas like Brooklyn. Walking around Harlem, you can stumble upon plaques on buildings with historical information like Billie Holiday being discovered at 14 in 1929. Harlem feels like a city built over another city, very rich with history. Anyway, Ricki Wilde is a strong, creative woman who never quite fit in with her high society Atlanta family. She's all about breaking the rules and following her passions, unlike some of her more buttoned-up relatives. Her dream? To open a flower shop. She's the black sheep of the family, going against the grain and pursuing her creative passions despite the lack of support from her family. Ricki is the youngest of 4 girls in a very aristocratic family. She's 15 years younger than her sisters, who are all very fancy and bougie. They went to Ivy League schools, married the right guys, and work in the family business, a string of funeral homes. Ricki, on the other hand, only likes the flowers in the funeral homes. The flowers also play an interesting role, especially night-blooming jasmine, which only blooms at night. And if you know anything about night blooming jasmine, you know how wonderful it smells. Tia Williams does an amazing job of making you feel the notes in the flowers. After crossing paths with Della Bennett, a 96-year-old who becomes her fairy godmother, Ricki finds herself in Harlem and on a whole new adventure. If she had stayed in Atlanta, she would have experienced a soul death working the family business. To her, life is too short. She breaks away from the family to pursue her dream of opening a flower shop, which her family thinks is ridiculous. She moves to Harlem to open her flower shop in a brownstone. What makes Ricki's story truly magical is her chance encounter with Ezra Breeze Walker, a mysterious musician with an old-world charm and an incredible secret. They have an intense connection, set against the backdrop of Harlem's rich cultural history that feels like destiny. Hey girl, hey! If you're enjoying the show, make sure you sign up for our occasional newsletter and join our community at culturelitpodcast.com, where we share book reviews. You can interact with our guests and you'll have a chance to tell me your story and be a part of our community. That's culturelitpodcast.com. Now, back to the show. It's a romance that explores big ideas about family, time, and the pure magic of love. Ricki is vibrant, creative, and possesses a spirit that's impossible to contain. Stepping away from her family's funeral home business, she dares to create a new life, opening a flower shop in Harlem. This decision is both brave and inspiring, showing us the beauty of following one's dreams. Her journey is not just about finding love, but also about finding herself. It's about carving out a space where she can truly be herself, away from the expectations and pressures of her past. Then there's Ezra Breeze Walker. He's not your typical love interest. A traveling musician with courtly manners, Ezra brings an air of mystery and depth to the story. As Ricki and Ezra's paths cross, their connections grow, filled with magnetic attraction and a sense that their meeting is written in the stars. Ezra is a man out of time, with secrets that link him to Harlem's golden age. His charm, talent, and the sorrow in his eyes draw Ricki in, making her believe in the magic of love and destiny. The secondary timeline, set during the Harlem Renaissance, provides a rich historical layer that gives context to Ezra's character. It's beautifully crafted, offering glimpses into his tragic past and the larger-than-life figures who influenced him. This historical backdrop adds depth to the story, showing how the past shapes the present and how love can transcend time. Now, let's dive into the themes of the book. A Love Song for Ricki Wilde is more than just a romance. It explores the burden of family expectations, the weight of time, and the gifts that love can bring. Ricki's journey is about self-discovery and the courage to follow one's heart. She learns to embrace her uniqueness, to stand up for her dreams, and to love fiercely and freely. Ezra's storyline, with its elements of magical realism, adds a fantastical dimension that makes their love story truly unique. The way time is woven into their relationship serves as a metaphor for the timeless nature of true love. It's a reminder that love can be eternal, transcending the barriers of time and space. Let's take a moment to celebrate the brilliant mind behind this incredible novel, Tia Williams. Known for her compelling storytelling and rich layered characters, Williams never fails to deliver stories that resonate deeply with her readers. Her ability to blend contemporary narratives with historical settings and elements of magical realism is nothing short of genius. A Love Song for Ricki Wilde is a perfect example of her craft, combining romance, history, and a touch of the supernatural in a way that's both captivating and thought-provoking. So why should you read A Love Song for Ricki Wilde? Well, because it's a beautifully written, deeply moving story that celebrates the power and love and the importance of following your dreams. It's a story that will make you laugh, cry, and believe in the magic of love. It's a story that will stay with you long after you've turned the last page. So as we wrap up today's episode, I hope you feel inspired to pick up A Love Song for Ricki Wilde and dive into this enchanting world. Whether you're a fan of romance, historical fiction, or magical realism, this book has something for everyone. It's a testament to the power of diverse narratives and the importance of supporting Black authors. Remember, Supporting Black authors and celebrating diverse narratives is crucial in ensuring that our stories are told and heard. So go on and grab a copy and get lost in Ricki and Ezra's magical love story. Let their journey inspire you to follow your own dreams and to believe in the power of love. Thank you for joining me on this literary journey. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your friends. Stay tuned for more episodes where we'll continue to explore the beauty and diversity of romance literature. You've been listening to Culture Lit with Octavia Marie, and that's all for us this week. Be sure to listen, download, or subscribe to more episodes of Culture Lit. You can find Culture Lit on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple listeners, please be sure to leave a review and let us know what you think. Don't forget to talk to me on social or share your Black love stories at Becoming Octavia Marie on Instagram or XO Octavia Marie on Twitter. Make sure you sign up for our occasional newsletter and join our community at culturelitpodcast.com.